Hello and welcome to another one of my videos of records of my characters out of PoE 2 beta. And I was discussing in an earlier video about trying another Titan, because I just love the Titan. Titan is just so much fun with their extra 50% increased small passives. I just think it enables all kinds of fun. And I was discussing trying the Stormcaller arrow, because I thought that would be kind of cool with this setup. And thanks to being a warrior, and you start here, you have immediate access to this reduced skill duration here. And thanks to Titan, you get even more out of this. There is even more in the top here, which could be okay to have. This actually might be a good anoint. My current amulet is from a previous iteration of this builder, and this amulet is actually not that great for this at all. I mean, the rarity items is nice. Attributes, I actually need some of those, and resistance and regen is okay, but the charge portion of this is actually not doing anything for the builder currently. So I could actually change my amulet to something better, which I probably should, and then probably anoint maybe this one or something actually useful. Currently the anoint is the mana cost and mana regen, which actually is very important also, because mana costs are through the roof in this game currently. They are absolutely ridiculous when the way to scale is getting levels for your skill, which is 27 for my current skill. It's only level 20 gem, and then plus 7 from things. I'm not sure where I actually got this level 20 gem, I guess. Anyway, I guess I seem to have that. So it's level 27. I also have a barrage to support that with the usual stuff. Premeditation for more damage, the second win for double use, and then faster recovery with Ingenuity. On this, I don't actually have all the slots yet, which would help a lot. I have Scattershot, because the overlapping explosions, you get these 3 shots, which cannot hit the same target, which is fine. But then you have this massive lightning explosion, and it's really, really big, which was one of the reasons why I was thinking about this skill being very good. And also, I was looking at the attack numbers on these skills. Like, this attack number and this DPS looks actually kind of low. But, because it doesn't show the bolt, which actually is 614% from the explosion, which is a lot of damage. Also, this 800% more shock chance is crazy. Just crazy. And also you have shock duration as well, which pretty much ensures that anything this hits will be shocked to the max every shot. Which then, of course, works perfectly with our Herald of Thunder, because everything will be shocked. And then I have Grim Fist there, because Grim Fist is OP. And I'm running... I don't actually have that much energy shield or anything. I'm still running my Morion Invictus from the other builds, because it's just convenient for resistances. Hova, because it's great. Then just stats. I actually put a lot of attack damage on these, because I could. Because I had the resistances here, I could invest to other stuff. So I actually have rarity, and then a little bit of resistances and lightning damage and attack damage to get more damage out of these. And same here with little health and all of that. So nothing super special. I have a +2 quiver, so +2 projectiles skills, and I also have some attack speed and damage and damage and life per kill, which is kind of whatever. And my bow is okay, +3 bow. It's nothing special, but it's okay. And funnily, because we are a Titan, and you get the nodes here, these are also way better. So we get 30% there, and then another 44, so it's 74 and 104% for a quiver, which I think is 24% more than non-Titans. So this actually boosts this +2 to +4, which is then +3 from here, for the +7 I have. And then I guess an amulet that had a plus projectile or bow skills or whatever would be probably the best way to scale more damage on this, to add that. And might not be even that expensive. Of course, getting a prism for a Stormcaller arrow. Let's see, actually, how much is a prism? Quick, prism of belief. Is it prism? It's prism of... Yeah, prism of belief. And we want Stormcaller. Some of these are actually surprisingly cheap. I bought a couple of these from my other characters. And they were actually kind of affordable when you do off-meta skills. Yeah, so Stormcaller arrow is 40 Exiles. Yeah, we're gonna buy one of those. That's gonna be a massive damage increase. So there's an upgrade immediately for this to grab. And then we have mostly we have area. These are more area. That is kind of useless. No, then we have attack speed. We have more life cost instead of mana cost, because actually sustaining mana is a big problem in this build. We have lightning damage, attack damage, area damage, attack speed, more damage with 200 weapons. We have more area down here. We have attack speed. We have the lightning stuff down here for the non-crits. We are not doing crits, so lucky damage is great, and then penetration. Also, I have one note here for even more damage against the rares, so that we can kill them easier. I might actually want to invest more in here or something. But yeah, this is pretty much the three. We have the pack, and then we have the 50 passives, and then we have more life. To have a little more survivability. Survivability is the other key point that's not that great in this build still. I think going full OES would probably be the best, as it's pretty every build, but I hope they fix that. That is one of my biggest annoyances in this game currently, that everything is just ES. If you want to survive, get ES. And nothing else is nearly on the same level, because you just don't get enough effective HP. You can dodge, you can parry, you can block, you can protect with your armor and resistance a little bit, but when it actually matters and a big hit comes, when you don't have shield or life to counter that, or mind over matter with mana, if you just don't have enough, at least like 3,000-4,000 combined, you just die. There's so many just one-shots like that. Not even like a massive big AoE attacks from bosses and things like that. Just a random whatever's. Just 3,000 boop dead. Sadly. But let's take a look at this on the map. So I'll show you how does this look running around a little bit. And this is my current mapper. I wanted an easy kind of one button click pew pew. So you shoot a thing with your arrows, and then it explodes into a massive AoE. And the reason why we are on the Titan is that we get that duration reduction easily. You could also add, and I have added a fast forward for additional reduction on that, and then we have some just lightning infusion and martial tempo for faster attack speed. But we can just kind of run around and just keep shooting around. And mana is not really a problem, because I have mana on kill. So it's fine. It's the problem when we actually have to fight a boss or something, where the sustainer is a little sketchy at best. This is a just normal level 15 map, some random rare 15 I picked up from my stash, so nothing special. But yeah, it's a very massive AoE, and I kind of like it because it's not like your standard lightning arrow build. It is using the Stormcaller instead, and Stormcaller is also very good for a single target. It's just the mana is a little problem, especially against single target like bosses. If the space is pretty confined, like there's walls next to the boss and something, and you can shoot the arrows at the boss and at the wall, because the arrow itself only hits one target, so you can't shotgun this boss with the arrows, but the ensuing explosions, which is the major part, like most of the damage in the skill, that actually does overlap. And because of the massive AoE we have from Titan, it overlaps very easily. Also, when you shoot really far, the arrows kind of cluster into a tight spot. instead of spreading. Like if you shoot here, you can see like the arrows spread very far. If you shoot here, they cluster very closely. So you want to keep a distance from a boss and basically fire at the wall next to it. Partially. Well, one of them should hit the boss, but the other two arrows hitting the wall next to it will contribute quite a bit to the damage because of the explosion. Of course, I have played now this build, and I played the build with Molten Blaster, where in both of those builds, walls funnily play a big part because I played a couple other builds where also I did that. I'm not gonna pick that because it doesn't really reflect the actual build properly. I played a couple builds where colliding from terrain and bouncing a projectile from that has been like a key part of the build. And I have actually really liked those builds, but I've also noticed that Path of Exile 2 is very inconsistent what is considered as a wall and what is not. Because sometimes just the edge of a border here, even though there's nothing visually, counts as a wall. And sometimes when you see an actual wall, like a big solid wall, it doesn't count as a wall for some reason. And it's extremely inconsistent, which makes it kind of unpredictable until you learn, like, okay, on this map, this wall is actually not existing. On this wall, this random border in air is actually a wall. So a little more consistency on that would be nice also, if you have skills that trigger from colliding with terrain and all of that. But also, as you can see, this clears really well. And like the DPS number on that doesn't look that much. But when you actually change the bolt and see it's almost 60,000, if that thing would stop shooting me for a second, thank you. You can actually see that it's almost 60,000 DPS currently, which is quite a lot. And of course, you can also count the initial arrow of the 9,000 hitting the boss and also then the overlap. So it is actually quite a bit of damage. And there is a lot of room for improvement here as well, if you want to put some currency into this. I have maybe 6 divines worth of currency on this. I think the bow and the quiver are about a 1 divine-ish or so when I bought them, and my Hawa was, I think, 3 divines when I bought it. So not the most expensive. And then there is just some random gems and a few other things. So getting this going, also getting this going earlier would be fairly easy as well. And also going the route of not using the Warrior Invictus and just using some other gear. Well, hell. See, it pays itself. A lucky divine there while I'm showcasing the build. Well, that goes for the next project. I might actually invest it into this one. So because this is just my mapper currently. I'm actually working on a different build at the moment. So this is kind of parked currently only when I needed to just mindlessly shoot through some maps and kill some stuff and maybe earn some currency. For my other builds, I'm actually currently trying a Chronomancer using chaos spells. And I leveled it all the way to the maps already, using Contagion and Essence Drain. It was painful, to be honest, compared to some of the other options, like Titan Monk skills, Quarterstaff skills leveling, which is by far my current favorite way to level a character in this game. Probably any character should be leveled as a monk. And then respect later on once you get access to the tools for your actual builder. It's just so good for leveling. I mean, monks in general are insanely powerful in the current meta, I guess. But also fantastic for leveling. And especially as a warrior, because the warrior starting area actually is built perfectly for monks, I would say. Or very well, because you have so much of like just starting here. You have all of this melee damage, you have all of this area damage and melee damage up here, and then you go attack speed, and then you go up here, you get the lightning skills or cold skills or elemental in general, Then you get more area and more area damage. You got all of this attack stuff. You can quickly go up here if you want attack stuff. You can get these for energy shield and armor for your defenses. And then you can also head, of course, down here for more attack speed, 200 weapons for the staffs, more area, more attack speed, more lightning stuff. Like basically, this build you could swap almost 1-to-1 with fewer, like removing this branch from here and putting that more in here. You could turn this into the monk build. Very few changes, which of course would be really good to level this as a monk and then quickly changing into this later on, because it's not that much respecking. Because any kind of attack build just works so well with this. And then once you get this, your monk skills as Titan just skyrockets through the roof, and you just hit with the Herald of Ice and it just explodes screens. It's like even more than it already does on some other builds. You can do that at a low level, having just gigantic frost explosions, which probably won't survive the patches in the future. But oh well. Currently, at least, it's a really fun way to do it. But yeah, this build works really, really well. It's probably one of my most successful builds this league, trying different things. And of course, it is lightning bow skills, which are very, very good. But at least I'm not using the lightning arrow or just default arrow shot that many of them other ones do. And I'm not a Deadeye, so at least that's a little variant to the bow meta also. And using this Stormcaller arrow. There is also a lot of room for improvement still, if you have the currency. Like I said, buying the Prism of Belief before it gets expensive. I'll be buying one immediately once I end this recording. So get your Prism of Belief with +3 Stormcaller arrows. They are very cheap currently, because it's not a meta skill. Even though I think more people should be using this. And then, of course, getting a better bow. Well, I mean, there is a bows that can have +4 arrows. So getting this plus levels higher on this thing. Getting the damage higher is possible, but it gets very expensive. And you can have up to, I think, 7 levels from your bow. So I currently have only 7 in total, and you could get another 4 from this, and then I get an amulet with +few and get that prism for another 3 levels. So you could actually get quite a lot more levels to the bow. And then getting more arrows would be beneficial. You can have +2 on the bow itself, plus changing it into dual string, which gives another +1, and then if you go really ham on it, you can corrupt an extra one. So you could have +4 arrows from this, which could then either you could shoot 7 arrows, or you could drop the scatter shot, and you can see I get almost 50% more damage by dropping the scatter shot. How much is actually the this goes up to 88, almost 89,000 compared to the 56,000. So getting those extra arrows and dropping the scatter shot here, and then you have a slot open. Also getting this other slot. This number could easily go 150,000 or even more, like triple my current damage. And as you saw, I was just rolling through the map already. Of course, if you can invest, I mean, even just getting this slot here, and maybe a little bit more levels on the bow, you already have so much damage that you, just mapping wise, this thing is just sweep cleaning every map just fine for you. And I think that other investments should probably then be put into more survivability, which I'm not sure how to get yet in this build. I haven't really done a thought on that. But I mean, you could probably get more survivability as well. Somehow. Somewhere. Or, as you can do in PoE 1, once you have all of the damage in the world and everything dies before they can even blink, you don't need more damage. You don't need survivability, because everything is dead. But anyways, this is my Titan Stormcaller arrow build that I'm currently running. Level 91. And it's great fun. I highly recommend this. Level it with monk skills, quarter staffs. I recommend ice with herald and all that, and then you can do a quick swap into this one. You also scale the same way, so you have int and dex as your main stats in the monk thing, with some strength in the mix, and then this scales the exact same stats, especially if you get the Hova for that. My stats are not great for the Hova, like this could be way better. Just give me a Astra Mentis and this goes crazy. But that's a definitely a very good way to level the build first and then swapping into this. And this will clear all of the maps that you need to be cleared pretty much. You do kill bosses still well. I have been killing a lot of the map bosses with this. Mana does get a little pain in the butt, but also if you don't invest more into the damage aspect of this, you can probably invest into more mana regen and things like that as well, which will help, or just having more mana in general as well. So yeah, there's multiple avenues of improving the build even more, but it's already really fun. Like I was kind of surprised by the size of this lightning explosion and how well it cleans maps when I started this, and I was very satisfied with the results. And also, if you could incorporate somehow, I don't know how, but if you could incorporate Frenzy charges for the barrage, that would be very nice. Because if you do use barrage, you then shoot even more of these arrows, and you get this gigantic explosion, which will like one-shot rares on the maps, and it will be a nice burst for bosses as well. And barrage has the thing that it empowers your next bow attack for 2 repeats plus an additional repeat per French charge consumed, and repeats deal less damage, but that's fine. So if you can get the French charges somehow, which is actually why I am running this, because I was running a spiral shot firstly with this build, and trying that with the charges, but that required things that I can't really run with this current builder. So yeah, changing amulet would be a good idea. But if you can get those Frenzy shards somehow, actually getting Frenzy shards is kind of difficult current. There's not a lot of ways to get them. There is that whole pinning with and everything that you can do, but that requires physical damage. Or the boot. Actually, no, it does require physical damage, which we do actually with the initial arrow is only 20% convert to lightning, so there is actually a physical portion in our shots as well, but I don't think it's that enough to really do it. Also, I would have to get more spirit because I don't really have enough spirit, unless we drop clarity and or precision. We can probably actually fit the spirit gem for the French charges and then start doing it, but I think that gets into kind of fiddly territory. It's this, yeah, close combat. Sorry, combat frenzy. Gain frenzy charge when you freeze, electrocute, or pin. I guess if you could also get electrocute instead of or in addition to the shocking, because you don't want to get rid of the shock. You could also run this and get the French charges from that, and then use the barrage more. Maybe some kind of swap for bosses only, but who knows? It's probably not needed, to be honest. Once you get the Prism of Belief, the extra levels from Amulet, more levels from the bow, and more arrows, and all of those small changes that I talked about, I think you'll have more than enough damage that maybe the barrage fiddling is not really needed anymore. But yeah. Anyway, thank you for watching my another rambling about my build. We'll probably do the Chronomancer next. We'll see. It's going, but we'll see. It's not as good as this build yet. It might need a little work and maybe some investment. And the Divine we just dropped might be a good a good start of the investment. I might want to get Original Sin for that build, and instead of using Essence Drain Contagion, use anything else caster related that's chaos damage. Maybe even the bone skill that you get from a wand. Maybe that's an option, but we'll see. Because I'm doing 100% mana regained, recouped over 3 seconds basically on that build. So I don't want to use my mana because that's my health pool. But there are some other issues. We'll talk about all those issues and things in that video. But anyway, thank you for watching this one, and I'll see you guys next time.